Do you feel time barreling onward too fast for you to catch up? You're just running. As soon as August hits, you're running. And it's Halloween, baby. It's Halloween go time. Sure, it's 85 degrees out, but it's Halloween. And then, halfway through October, you're hearing those little jingling bells in your head. And you're going, all right, baby, it's Christmas. The stores are telling me it's Christmas. Let's get holly and jolly up in here. I feel you, man. And so I'm here making this hopefully short little vlog to extol the benefits of celebrating each month, okay? Each month, and keeping the holidays not like necessarily completely constrained to their month, but like not getting so far out ahead of the holidays that you're tired of them by the time they get here. Because I feel like that happens a lot with me and Halloween. Like, people start getting excited for Halloween in August. And I understand there's this very, like, shift to August where it's suddenly not July anymore. Like, there's this hint where the air changes and the lighting changes and, the different bugs and stuff come. And it just starts to feel a little bit more like harvest. But I try to keep August still summer in my mind, because it definitely is. Even September's hot like summer, but I get that's back to school, so people kind of want to jump to the next thing. But I would like to just suggest that maybe August can just September, can just be back to school and doesn't have to be pumpkin spice Halloween time. Because I feel like it makes October more special. Like, those things don't really happen till October. Like, the leaves aren't really super changing in September usually, maybe towards the end of September. Halloween's the end of October. So when we start jumping into these things in September or even in August, I feel like we can't fully appreciate what those months hold. And yeah, we get burnt out about Halloween, October 1st or something, and we're already looking on to the next thing. And I realize, like, stores influence us in this way because they have to have all their product in early, and so we don't want to miss out on, like, buying the thing we want to buy. But I also suggest that maybe we I do this. I'm calling myself out. Like, I buy the life I want as opposed to live it a little too much. It's like, well, I want to be that person who does that thing. Oh, first step, let's buy all the art supplies because I want to be an artist or something. And it's like, well, you have some art supplies. You should just start making art, and some of that is a quick fix response, the dopamine of buying too. But some of it, I think, is just the inner knowledge that we don't really have, or at least we feel like we don't have enough time. Whether we do or not, or whether we're wasting that all on our phones, varies person to person. But I think there's that feeling that we don't have time to do the thing. So we go, if I just buy it, then I'm making a step towards it, or I feel better, or I feel like I'm doing the thing. And I think we definitely do that with the holidays. As opposed to, like, doing a craft or slowing down or having time with family and friends or making the recipe, we'll just go buy the decorations. So, and I see that happening in October, like way before October for Halloween. And I'm pretty sure October 1st or even in September, Christmas stuff has already been put in the stores. It's not even Halloween yet, and most of the Halloween stuff is out of the stores, and the Christmas stuff is in. So I'm not gonna, like, say you can't do some of this stuff early, because I understand maybe there's a certain gift you want to get someone, or I Christmas shop all year round, so I kind of don't fit in the cycle at all. But there are some things, like if you're a crafter and you want to craft things to give to people at Christmas, you probably have to start that journey before December 1st. I can acknowledge that. But anyway, that was four minutes of, like, deep diving to pitch my actual video, which is how to enjoy November for what it is. Because I feel like as soon as Halloween's over, we get all the jokey memes of, like, oh, Mariah Carey, she's back, Christmas time, ho, ho, ho. We're going to set up our Christmas fun time, and if you don't like it, you're a Scrooge. And if that's what you love and you don't burn out before Christmas on that, you do you. Don't let me poop on your joy, because certainly if you want full 2 months before Christmas to enjoy Christmas, go for it. Everyone's got different life situations and capabilities to do that. But I lately have really wanted to enjoy November. Like, there's no sense in putting off Christmas just to put it off, just to be like masochistic and be like, we can't have joy now. But I tend to get bored, and I don't want to do that. So my goal for the last couple of years has been like, how do I enjoy November for what it is? Because November is definitely still fall. There's not snow, at least where I live, It's not snowing usually, or at least not in a way that it tends to stick. And there's still like leaf fall. And I think part of the reason people hop into the holly jolly Christmas stuff is because the time changes in November where I live. Like, it gets darker an hour earlier, and it's already dark really early. But when you change the clocks and it goes from being dark at 6:30 to being dark at like 5:15, that can really hit people in the seasonal depression, and even just not seasonal depression, but even just like it hits everybody, because suddenly we had an hour after work, to do things, and now we don't. So, I do think it's important to be like, well, how can we still lean into this month and try to appreciate it for what it is and find joy? How are we doing that if we can't just like ignore it and try to celebrate Christmas as early as possible? I have compiled a list, okay? Because November, once you start paying attention to all the months and trying to appreciate them for what they are and not like what holiday is coming next or what season's coming next, they all feel really, really different. And that's been a very joyful journey for me to partake in. So I have a list here, guys, of media you can enjoy and romanticize and celebrate, and things you can do that, to me, feel November. Okay, they're not Christmas, they're not December, they're not Halloween, they're specifically November. And I would say they're not even just generally autumn, Autumn comes around and everyone's like, ooh, yay, that's Gilmore Girls, that's whatever. And I feel like a lot of the content is September, October focused. What about November? Sorry, that was really strange. I think the male person's here. But I'm going to ignore them, and they're not knocking or anything. So I'm going to share with you my compiled list of November content for you all to enjoy. We're going to start with movies and TV shows, okay? Up first, this is kind of like the nucleus of what I'm basing all of this around. The most November movie that I can even consider is Knives Out. The color palette, the mystery. It's like not spooky, it's not horror, because that's October. The vibes are just so perfect, and it has this very much like the family's all together, right? So it's like very much Thanksgiving vibes. Like Thanksgiving weekend, that's Knives Out time, Like it's so good, and it's so perfect for it. Number 2, I would pitch this movie, and it's perfect because it doesn't feel like a Christmas movie to me, but I believe it's set at Christmas, and that is Spencer, which is the movie with Kristen Stewart about Princess Diana. And it's set on like the weekend of Christmas, and it's just like everything's going on with her and the royal family, and it's all kind of crumbling down, and she's having like these revelations and these mental health struggles, and I love that movie. I love that movie so much, and it is a perfect like end of November movie where like, okay, we had Thanksgiving, we had this big family get together, and that Thanksgiving is kind of the kickoff to the holidays, and that's at the end of November always, so it's that perfect like transitioning in towards December, but we're not quite there yet. A couple other things that just feel this way to me: the movie Mermaids with Cher and Winona Ryder. Color palette, vibes, like, I don't know, man. I can't even really describe why these things feel this way, but it's very autumn to me, but it's very specifically November autumn. Just give it a try, and then you can argue me in the comments if it fits in a better month. But I think that's the month. Um, Girl Interrupted, the movie. I haven't read the book. Featuring, I think, again, Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie and a bunch of people when they're young in their career. This girl basically gets checked into a mental hospital. And it's dark. It's not very uplifting movie. But it's not a total bummer either at the end. Like, some of the darkest points hit, before the end of the movie. Very interesting movie, very intriguing movie. Yet again, it's got this very autumnal color palette, and the atmosphere outdoors is very autumnal. I do think, as much as we want to watch and read the academia stuff when we start the school year in September, that's all fine and good, but November is a perfect time for it, especially if it's dark academia. It is the perfect time for oh yeah, the big brick school building and the corrupt academics, and it's just, it fits in so well there for me. So I would argue Mona Lisa Smile, Dead Poets Society, those are great November movies. And November's close enough to Christmas because a lot of those movies follow the school year. So they often start in November, or they crest into Christmas, and sometimes they go all the way to spring. But I feel like a lot of the storytelling is encapsulated by the look of November in the film. So Mona Lisa Smile, Dead Poet Society, both set in, one's a boarding school, I think it's high school, the Dead Poet Society, and Mona Lisa Smile is set in college, university. Very good. Another perfect November movie, and one of my all-time favorites, The Green Knight. This is basically an Arthurian legend. It's based on Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and it's a great movie. I think I've had a podcast, maybe even a video, where I talked about some of my dislikes in that movie, but I still love it. It's still a fantastic movie, and it's very much feels like November to me. He's out riding in nature the whole time, and he looks cold, but it's not snowy, so it's just 10 out of 10. That's a good November movie. I gotta say, TV shows, Only Murders in the Building. I save Only Murders in the Building every season that's come out to watch it in November, because that is just a perfect November movie to me. It's just, or show to me. It's just perfect. I don't know why it always feels that way. I know the first season was definitely set in that time of year. I don't even know if they all are, but it's just that show to me. There's something about November that is academia and murder mysteries. That's what I want, because it's cozy, but it's not holly jolly Christmas times yet. The Queen's Gambit, perhaps, might be an autumn. You're gonna have to tell me if that's an autumn or a November show, because I think it could possibly be spring. But I read the book, and the vibes of the book, chess in general, I want to play it in November. Explain this to me. Like I said, it's a feeling, it's a vibe, and if you get it, you get it. Obviously, for music, Hozier. Basically any album by Hozier. It's November, It's November, baby. People are doing writing. They're writing all the time in November with NaNoWriMo and various other things. Who better to listen to when you're writing than Hozier? It just works. And clearly the Queen is Evermore by Taylor Swift. That is a November album. I won't hear any other opinions on it. Books. I could maybe go further into books. I have a short list for books. Once again, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, you could do a little study unit for yourself. You could read Sir Gawain, and you could watch it. It's very much, it starts set at the Christmas feast, and then like we time skip almost a year, so like the Christmas feast is looming when the book really picks up. So you are in autumn to late autumn to December in that book, so it works. I would say books like Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, they're often pitched in like autumn books or Halloween books because they're kind of dark and spooky. They are perfect November books. They're too like dreary to be Halloween, and they're not scary enough to be horror. And like I said, academics, autumn, read the classics, read Wuthering Heights, read Jane Eyre. Perfect time to be in those little dull, dreary, spooky worlds. Once again, leaning into the dark academia, I would say The Secret History, The Queen's Gambit. I read The Queen's Gambit. I started The Secret History. I'm not done with it yet, but I can tell the vibes. Heavily a boarding school in autumn. All right. To do, may I just say, I'm talking about like waiting on holidays, not rushing holidays. I live in America, okay? Thanksgiving is the end of November. We have a holiday in November. And yeah, that holiday is small. And that holiday is also often seen as the kickoff to Christmas, but it's the start. So you can spend a good deal of your time in November if you want to romanticize a holiday. Romanticize Thanksgiving. Like, look through the recipes you can try. Think about, how the day is going to play out. Just really lean into this end of harvest celebration of thankfulness. Romanticize the crap out of that. And I wouldn't say go buy a billion things. But start crafting, start planning your meals, start inviting your guests, maybe make some handwritten invitations for your guests. Like, really lean in to enjoying that day, and that being the first really big, like, all together holiday to kick off your enjoyment of the Christmas season. To do, we also have puzzles. Perfect puzzle in time. A perfect month-long time to be able to do a puzzle completely before you have to pick it up and get rid of it because so many people are coming over for the Christmas months. Perfect. Cozy, dark. Okay, that's fine. It can be cozy and dark. I'm going to puzzle. I'm going to read. Reading's another. November's a perfect reading month. Just like January is a perfect reading month, so is November. We got board games, Clue, chess. Those also tie in with the vibes of the movies and shows I've already pitched here. Do not stay stuck in your house because it's dark at 5 p.m. I'm preaching to myself, right? I'm saying this, okay? We got to get over this, guys. We got to get past it. I know it's easier said than done. We got to get past it. Get your headlamps if you need them. Take your dark walks. Bring your tea to keep warm. Like, we have to keep movement in. The sun's already away, so that's one part of the walk that's we're not getting benefits from. But we can still get fresh air. We can still get movement. We can still get outside of the four walls of our homes, okay? Crafting for Christmas. It's dark. It's starting to get cold. We can enjoy our crafting and feel cozy. And that is us starting to allow ourselves maybe that headspace of preparing for Christmas so we're not stressed out trying to cram everything into 1 month. But it's not celebrating Christmas, it's crafting. You're starting your Christmas crafts. You're buying what you need for your Christmas crafts. You are crafting, and then you maybe get all your Christmas cards done, or the presents done, or the knitting projects, or what have you. November's a perfect time to do that. But like I said, you can do that without, well, now we have to watch The Grinch 37 times and, decorate.